Hello, my name is Clinton, and I'm here to share games. This is just another collection update video I felt like doing. I haven't uploaded anything really this month just because I've been feeling not stressed. It's just been busy with school and work, so I haven't had too much time. But I'm always collecting here and there, so I figured I'd do another good update for this month. So here we go. I mostly got pretty much everything I got was handheld games this month. I got a bunch of DS and 3DS games, simply because I don't have to go a lot now. I ride the bus. It's between school and work. So I have a lot of time to relax and play handheld stuff there. It's a lot easier than getting into a big console game right now, or something on PC. So here we go. The first game I picked up here was Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. This is the second game in the Mario and Luigi RPG series. This is the first game being Superstar Saga, and I have the third game that's also on DS called Bowser's Inside Story. I haven't played the fourth one on 3DS. But that's why I wanted to get this, because I have played this before. I did borrow it from a friend. I had just never finished it. So I decided to pick this up, and I haven't put too much time into it so far. But it's a pretty good game. I remember I got farther into it when I had borrowed it way back when. And it's very enjoyable. It's a well done Mario RPG. A good game for RPG newcomers, so you can kind of learn the mechanics. It's over a fun time with Mario and Luigi. So yeah, if you like Mario games, if you like RPGs, and you haven't played this, give it a look. It's pretty good. Next here we have all of the Castlevania games on DS, and that is Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, and Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. Ecclesia. Anyway, I'll say a little bit about each of them. In general, what compelled me to pick up Castlevania was just I was in the mood to play, a good old Castlevania game, and I don't really feel like looking into the Lords of Shadow series right now, because that's what Konami seems to be focusing on, and it just doesn't seem like my style in terms of Castlevania. Maybe I'll check those out someday. But Dawn of Sorrow here is a direct sequel to a Game Boy Advance game that I very much enjoyed, which was Aria of Sorrow. It uses the same kind of systems in there, as in you fight enemies and roam around a giant castle in the same style as maybe Symphony of the Night on PS1. And when you kill enemies, then you get to take their souls, and you get skills from those souls. And that's the giant mechanic in the game, aside from just equipping different weapons and leveling up and stuff. And it's really fun. I actually just finished this last night. I couldn't put it down from the day I got it in the mail, because I've been wanting to try it. Because I have actually tried this before, I just never finished it, kind of like Partners in Time. So, yeah, if you played Aria of Sorrow, if you want something that's very much like Symphony of the Night, give this a try. Second game, Portrait of Ruin, I haven't played it all. I popped it in for a couple minutes just to make sure it worked and all that stuff, and it seemed pretty fun. So apparently you play as this guy here, and his friend over there, whose name's, Jonathan and Charlotte. And Jonathan isn't a Belmont, but Jonathan Morris? Anyway, he's more of a traditional whip user, like old Castlevania heroes, like the Belmonts, as well as the girl, Charlotte. She's apparently more of a spellcaster magic user type, and the dynamic in the game comes between switching back and forth between both of them and exploring the castle in this game. So this seems pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to get into it once I do. And finally here, Order of Ecclesia. This one apparently mixes a lot of different styles together in that it's still 2D and has a really cool combat glyph system in which you just string together a whole bunch of different attack combos and magic spells. But instead of just that, how you get around the game, instead of a giant castle, is actually by a world map, and you pick different levels, and apparently those have lots of big areas to explore. So that seems pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to getting into this as well. So if you have a DS or a 3DS and you want some Castlevania, there's 3 really good games here, especially if the Lords of Shadow games don't really seem to interest you at all. So let's see. Moving on to 3DS, only picked up a couple games here, but I'm pretty good. The first one was Theatrhythm? I say Theatrhythm, whatever. Potato. Theatrhythm Final Fantasy. And the easiest thing to compare this to in terms of Well, it's a Final Fantasy music game, and the easiest things to compare it to would, in the way that it plays a lot like the Elite Beat Agents or Owendon series that was on the DS, and in terms of content, it's a lot like Dissidia on PSP, but instead of fighting, it's a Final Fantasy music game. Can't put it much more simpler than that. If you like Final Fantasy, the music of Final Fantasy, and you like music games, and you have a 3DS, go for it. It's a really good game, very enjoyable. There's a lot of content, so yeah, and it's a I would say it's almost a gem in the 3DS library, but it is pretty popular from what I've seen. Though. So either way, a nice unique game you can get on 3DS. And next we have Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. I am not very well versed in the Shin Megami Tensei series. The only game I've played all the way through, and actually the only game I've played is Devil Survivor Overclocked on the 3DS. That was the first RPG I got for the system because I figured, you know what, it's early on in the system's life, I'll try an RPG. And it was pretty good, I enjoyed it. And ever since then, I've been kind of poking my way into the series. And this seemed like another side game in the series that you didn't need too much knowledge to jump into. So I decided to pick this up. It also came with a little soundtrack CD, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's a remake of a Sega Saturn game, so it's very old school in a lot of its premises, which most of the Shin Megami Tensei games are anyway, but I'm really enjoying it. If you like old school RPGs and you like Shin Megami Tensei and you haven't tried this yet, I'd recommend it from what I've played so far. It's really good, and yeah, go for it. Finally, last game we have here is Pokemon Y. I didn't get this when it first came back. First came out back in October. I was a lot busier than I am now at school and stuff, and I just figured, I'll wait. So I waited a little bit and decided to just get it now because a bunch of my friends are still playing this and they won't stop bothering me to get it. They wouldn't stop bothering me to get it because I have it now. But yeah, I got this at the beginning of February, and I played all the way through it, and I really enjoyed it. For those of you who haven't played this yet, and you've played all the other Pokemon games, I'd say the easiest generation I can compare this with is Gen 4, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. And I say that in the sense that I wasn't terribly fond of the one-player mode in those games. It wasn't bad, but it was very forgettable. That's the easiest way for me to put it. But what I did enjoy about those games was all the new features that were added. All the multiplayer, all the different wireless functionality things, and then that's multiplied even more so in here. There's a lot of good online features, a lot of extra things. Oh, and there's a lot of new ways to train your Pokemon and actually make them more effective, which, it really helps, seeing as like a lot of the older ways to train Pokemon, like IV and EV training and breeding, they're still present, but they're much aided by the improvements that Nintendo has made here in this game. So this game is a lot more about improving features, and that's why I liken it to Gen 4. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with the one-player mode in this game. It wasn't terribly amazing, but it was pretty good. And now I'm slowly working my way through just post-game content and having fun with it. So yeah, if you haven't tried this yet and you like Pokemon, I'd say go for it, because most likely your friends are probably already playing it. So yeah. Those are all the games that I ended up picking up this month. Not too much, but they were a lot of they were a lot of games that they had on my list, and I wanted to get all of them, and I did. So not too bad overall. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.